All right, gang, join me for a coffee run today. We're going to talk about how to overcome the only thing that will ever stop you, and that's fear. Fear is the only thing between you and the life that you're capable of living. That's the only thing stopping you is you're afraid. You're afraid to fail. You're afraid to get rejected. But the way that I overcame my fear of failure was I saw this quote, absolutely changed my life. It said, "The deepest level of hell is when the person that you became meets the person that you could have been." When you have to look your potential in the eye and say, "I'm sorry, I was afraid." And that changed everything for me because it made me realize it all comes down to courage. Like I said, the only thing that's stopping you from living this amazing life that you're capable of is fear. You're afraid. And we're all afraid. In fact, Will Ferrell gave the commencement speech at my USC graduation, which is pretty epic. And he gave an amazing line. He said, "Understand that you're never not afraid." Even he, Will Ferrell, is still afraid to this day. And so you have to learn to just start doing things scared. Doing things scared is the best thing that you can ever do for yourself because you wait, right? How much of your life have you wasted just waiting? Waiting for the right time, waiting to feel ready, but ultimately, or waiting to feel confident and courageous, but ultimately that time never comes. Because what I love to say is the cold water doesn't get any warmer the longer you wait to jump. You have to learn to just start to jump. You have to learn to start doing things scared. And there's this quote from George Clooney, which I attached myself to in my life to. And he said, "The way this works is you do the thing that you're scared shitless of, and you get the courage after you do it, not before." Like I said, whatever thing that you're afraid to do today will still scare you tomorrow. You'll still be as afraid to follow your dreams tomorrow. You'll still be afraid to reach out to that person. And I literally changed my life by just deciding that I'm just going to count to 3, grab my nuts, and go for it. Because that's all you can do is go for it. And again, going back to that quote that changed my life, which is the deepest level of hell is when you're on your deathbed, looking at the person you could have become and the life that you could have lived, and you're kicking yourself because you were afraid. And it's hard to become confident and courageous because, like I said, those things will always still scare you. It's a lot easier to just make this decision and vow to yourself that, you know what, I'm not going to waste my one and only life being a pussy. I'm just not going to go through life scared of it. I'm not going to be afraid to follow my heart and to take those chances. I'm not going to be afraid to say how I feel to that person that I really want to communicate that to. Because at the end of the day, you get one life, and the only thing that's going to stop you from making the most of it is fear. But ultimately, there's nothing to fear because we all die. We will all be dead. In 200 years, we will all be dust. So what is there to be afraid of, really? All that matters is if you live the biggest life, the best life that you possibly could have lived while you were here, and you owe that to yourself. And so I just inverted everything because you don't have time to waste to become confident. They say you get confidence from knowing that you can do something from doing it successfully 1,000 times. Well, it might take you 5 years to do something successfully 1,000 times. And you don't have 5 years to wait. Your life is happening right now. You need to be confident today. Your soulmate could be in the coffee shop today. And whether or not you had the confidence to go up to them changes the next 80 years of your life. And you probably don't have that confidence. And so that's why you need to become confident today, because the other flip side is like, say you wait 5 years to become truly confident. Okay, well, you're going to look back and regret the past 5 years of your life because you'd be like, damn, how much better of a position would I be in today? How much better of a life would I created for myself had I just been fully confident the whole time? And so that's why I go back to this idea of you don't have time to waste to become confident. Just make the decision today that you're just not going to go through life afraid of it. You're not afraid of heartbreak, rejection, or failure because that's all the cost of doing business. All of those things are the entry price to an amazing life. And ultimately, it doesn't matter about your failures your rejections, your heartbreak, your losses. You get one life, so you might as well swing for the fence. If you're going to get up to the plate, you risk a strikeout no matter if you're swinging for the fences or bunting. So you might as well swing for the fence, because what ultimately matters in life is how well life goes. The failures, the losses, none of that stuff matters so long as you end up in the green. If you lose money on an investment, it doesn't matter so long as at the end of the day, you made money on all the others. And so start to play life more aggressively, because all that matters is winning and how good the good things go. So swing for the fences and just don't be afraid, because what's there to be afraid of? We all end up at the same place in the end. This quote from Naval changed my life. He said, "Go big, because we all go home. What do you got to lose? Why wouldn't you go for it?" I think you'll be happy to see just how amazing it all turns out.